Esta conferencia comenzará a grabarse.
Buen día, Aurora.
Hola, buenos días. No lo sé decir en vasco. En vasco solo sé eskerrik asko.
Vasco es muy difícil. Egunon.
Bunot.
Egunon.
Ah,
Egunon.
egunon. Ok. Yo solo sé decir eskerrik asko.
Muy
Nada
bien,
más.
ya sabes mucho. Eso es muchísimo. Es vasco avanzado. Es complicado el vasco, es muy complicado.
Y sabes, no he visto esto en ningún sitio, pero por el sonido, puede ser que obrigado venga de ahí o al revés. Como arigato, el japonés, arigato viene del obrigado.
¿Ah, sí?
Que, sí, en las descubiertas en los años 1500 y tal, cuando llegamos ahí no tenían el sonido para este gesto, que solo hacían la venia, para agradecer. Y los portugueses contestaban obrigado, obrigado. Y ellos han cogido este sonido y es arigato.
Ah,
Y me parece que es que ricasco no es así tan distinto. Estos tres son más semejantes entre ellos, son más similares entre ellos do que gracias o merci o danke.
sorry, Aurora. Good morning. Guten Morgen, Frank.
Good morning. Yes.
I hope to say it well because my German
Yeah.
is near Sorry. Okay.
No, it was very nice. Thanks. Buenos dias.
Buongiorno, Veronica.
Buongiorno Antonio. Good morning to everybody from Italy.
Nice to see you
Ciao.
here. Oh, yes. Is Veronica or is Elena? What do you prefer?
It's Veronica. The second name was given me by my father, so I carry it very much, but I'm Veronica.
Okay, Veronica. Bon dia, Vasco and Carlos.
Good evening, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning, Antonio.
Good morning.
Guten Morgen
And
also,
everybody.
Nina.
Good morning.
Okay, you know that we are expecting to have in the meeting also Ulla Engelmann. Ulla, for those that doesn't know her, she is the head of the unit of clusters. Good morning, Christoph.
Hello. Hi, Antonio.
Hello. So, buenos días, Daniel. Cold there
Buenos
in
días a
Málaga?
todos. ¿Cómo dice?
Cold there? ¿Hace frío allí?
No. No,
Okay.
not really. A bit crispy, but not really cold.
Okay. So we will wait for some minutes. Just 3 more. And we will start because today we have a very intensive agenda thanks to the members that were yesterday, okay? And we only have 90 minutes because at 10 o'clock we have the expert group on respirators, as you well know. You are invited also to stay if you want, but the point is that we need to go through all the agenda for today very quickly. I will try to show you the agenda in the screen. Yeah, that's it. So this is the agenda that we agree with the initiative from Anais. Is he here? No, not yet.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Bonjour, Patrick.
Oh, buenos días.
Buenos días. We will start in just 1 minute.
Antonio, I take the opportunity to introduce one person from Italy that is now joining the call. I invited him yesterday evening because on our side, since we have less experience with 3D printers, but we have experience with the mold injection, we are trying to establish a mass production through mold injection. So Mr. Massimo Desideri is joining.
Benvenuti, Massimo.
Good morning. Thank you.
Morning. So I don't see Anais in the meeting. It's a pity because I think it would be good to have her introducing the idea, but we have now 85 minutes to cover a lot of thematics. Okay, so I propose you to start. As you know, this is a meeting of the European Cluster Alliance group or fighting against the coronavirus. So it's not just for the alliance members, but also for any other institution, cluster, enterprise that is fighting with that crisis. Okay, you are all welcome. The idea is to share what are we doing through Europe and what do we need to enable us to collaborate and help us if possible. Okay, so the three main points for today is to share, to inform, and to look for action points, and we will start sharing our experiences. Okay, there is a proposal of agenda, but we could change it if needed. Okay. So the first proposal is to have Aurora and Carlos Alves speak about the software that they are developing in Portugal. So Aurora is your turn.
Okay, Carlos is the one who knows that. As I said yesterday, I would invite Carlos. Carlos is now in here. We see his face. For some reason, I don't know. My camera is on, but I don't know. It's like something happened, and I'm not losing time on that side. You at least you already know me from the first day I joined. So Carlos has prepared some summary of the thing, and what I propose is that you allow him to share the screen so that he shows what's being done.
Now it's his presenter.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for the invitation. My name is Carlos, as Aurora said, from Portugal. I'm trying to share my screen. Now I think it's okay. Okay.
We see some Iberia symbol, which is the toros. Okay.
So, being very fast because time is key here. We basically built and are building, a kind of marketplace to bring together the demand and the supply in the needs that medical centers, hospitals, they have right now. There are a lot of people donating stuff, but in many occasions they don't know for where to send it or even to know what is being demanded. So the goal is trying to build a kind of orchestration between offering and demanding, allow the things to get in the right place at the right time, and create a kind of awareness for the people know exactly what are the needs, in fact, that the world is having right now, world Europe. So basically, what we did, we first of all we tried to simplify as much as we can this type of stuff, because normally this takes 3 to 4 months to be alive. We are trying to do this in a very fast way. So we basically start cutting a lot of features, and what you can see here is a kind of simple flow, high level, which you enter, you create an account to authenticate yourself, and after you have two kind of paths, the top of the presentation and the bottom. The top is about the people that is requiring stuff. Can be masks, can be ventilators, whatever. And they are saying to the marketplace, I have these needs, and they are allowed to create the needs based on the products they have and manage their requests. On the other hand, the bottom of the presentation, you have the kind of donors, suppliers that wants to participate and to donate stuff, and they also can manage their things. And after you enter the marketplace, we will try to match as much as possible demand and supply, and say, okay, you request it 100, but I just have 50 to give you, and you can fulfill parts of the demand and start putting the things and the pieces together and the needs with the offerings in place. And at the end, we want to, of course, to give some KPIs for the people to measure the efficiency of the marketplace and say, okay, already fulfilled by region, by medical center, by hospital, this type of materials and this type of the number of material done. A lot of challenges here. First of all, for Portugal, of course, we have the data available. We already did the model. The model is fully done. We are doing some tweaks, but nothing special. The goal here is to apply this to the whole Europe. We need some data about the regions, about the hospitals, the medical centers. We can create by hand, but we believe that was much easier if we can provide, if someone can provide us, or the countries can provide us the file with the predefined data. We have the format, and that will allow us to feed the database with all that data, and it was much easier for the users start using that.
Sorry, Carlos. Yeah. As we are very short in time, I will not enter on technical detail. Okay.
Okay.
It's okay for you. It's just
so very okay. Sorry, I will move ahead. So basically, where we are in that phase of we started doing mock-ups about the way we will produce the interface. It will be next week. We are doing this, so we know we are running against the clock. We have how to manage offerings, how to produce requests, the suggestions in the marketplace, your own requests, what are my requests, how they are, if they are fulfilled or not, and the offerings on the other side, the bottom of the presentation, who is the people that is offering stuff, photos of the products, all that things required, and that's all. So basically, it's putting the pieces together between supply and demand. This is what we are doing, and once again, running against the clock. The virus doesn't stop, and we would like to start and finalize this in a very fast way, because
when?
We know
Carlos,
the pressure. Oh, well, I expect during next week and a half, have parts of this already running, which means that probably we will have waves putting this alive. Let's say, let's start with less features, avoid the complexity, and after, if we need to add other stuff, we will.
Sorry, Carlos, more concrete, because we are very tight on time. When?
When we can ask, it's my best guess today. I have 5 people working on this, so I think it's what we can achieve.
Thank you very much. It will be possible to speak different languages, so it will be multi-language.
It will be.
We have already the adherence of Unbabel, who is who is working worldwide with translations and automatic translations. I was speaking with Carlos yesterday about that immediately after I got the yes from Unbubble. We are thinking that that phase will be after we start, because all of those things take a lot of time. Normally, this kind of complexity, this would take like 3 months to build. And Carlos started in the middle of, no, not middle, yeah, middle or maybe even end of last week. So it's against time, but some things have to be on waves, as Carlos told. So on the waves, I was even suggesting the cross-border to be later, but Carlos said, well, the cross-border is the same work, so maybe done at the same time. So one of the things that may be added a little later than the operational side is especially the language. Now everything is in English. They built on this international language we're using, and they do well. But as
Okay,
we
Aurora, sorry, because we need to be very short in our interventions, because if not, we will not have time to cover everything. Okay, so
yeah,
summarizing, it will start in English, and we will
yeah.
later use
Yeah,
different.
that's the point. So we
Thank you
know
very
that
much.
we have the solution, but now we don't have the resources to study the connection, how that will be done. It will be after the platform is operational and working. Okay, so what I think has to be done in the meantime that Carlos is finishing, Carlos and his team, his large team, dedicated team, are finishing the operational side, is that all of us in the different countries, those that are present in these cluster conferences and the other that I've never seen here, may collect the data for feeding the fields. Carlos has made the platform on a way that it will be very easy to load to import the data, right, Carlos?
It's very simple. If you provide us Excel with a format that we can share, we can say exactly the fields that we need. If you give us the list in Excel about the regions and the medical centers, for us, it's a huge help, and for the people that will be using, a much bigger help.
Could you send us the template for this Excel?
I can. I will prepare that with my team and I share with you.
As soon as possible, please. Okay?
Okay.
So the idea, sorry, because we have really a lot of things to share today.
Yeah.
The idea is to propose everybody to use that tool, but we need to verify that it is possible and that it works. Okay, so please share the template as soon as possible, and we will study it. Okay. Next.
Antonio,
yeah,
can I ask one question?
For sure.
How do you make sure that that this, particularly on the offer side, that there are no fake offers, and then you are not liable for this for the information that you provided there?
Well, we don't have a way to do that. The only way is register the person with an account or the company, and when they put the offer there, we put two persons in contact, and they can check.
But you said that so far you are putting it by your own, so you are importing the data that you collect, and it's not the user placing it there, but you are placing it on the platform.
I'm on the for Portugal. We know, for instance, the regions we have, the hospitals, because it's open data. For countries like Netherlands or France, we don't have that knowledge, so we don't know what data to load. Okay.
Yeah,
what we are requesting is your help on that sense.
Yeah, I understand on the demand side that is sure it's the hospitals and these governments asking for that. What happens on the offer side? Because on the that's the issue where you might have the issue of publishing
content that is, it might be fake or it might be not validated. Just to understand how you're dealing with this.
Lisa, here, please. Here in Portugal, what I'm doing is to connect to the makers associations, groups that are already working for free, offering things, so that the information is kind of curated. Because everyone in each country will need to be sure that there is no garbage inside. Some days ago, I don't remember now when, maybe 3 days ago or 2, Antonio offered to kind of manage these kind of things. And we've also suggested that we create a group of curators. The suggestion is having a curator by country, so that the information that is resident on this platform may be useful and not include the improper data. But this is also on the demand side, because we've.
Sorry, it's 20 minutes now, and we need to go ahead, okay? But the answer is, in Spain, we decided not to provide the possibility to offer to everybody, but just for some administrators that are mostly from the. We thought about the possibility to offer this tool for the public administrations, also for the people buying for hospitals, okay? Perhaps one per region or per province, and also for the coordinators of these voluntary groups or ourselves, but not for everybody, just to help this curate of the data. But please, there is a lot of things to speak about. This is a proposal. I think that Aurora, Carlos, go ahead, and for sure you don't need us, but if it makes sense, we will continue collaborating, and perhaps we could really define a common tool. Okay, is that right?
Antonio, yes, Ulla speaking. I want just to say that I'm online. Hi.
Hi, Ulla. So,
Antonio, just a short comment about this.
Vasco, just one moment. Could we let Ulla speak? Ulla?
Okay, so yeah, very quickly, because I missed just the beginning, but what I wanted to quickly share with you are two things. First of all, we, because you have seen there's this package of 37 billion, which was authorized by the European Parliament and from the structural funds, and this money cover also medical supplies, and we are now working with DG Regio that they make the managing authorities aware, and so when they now do their call for the medical supply, that they can reach out, and therefore information which we can give to the managing authorities, because they normally do their standard procurement thing, if they know which companies or which clusters to go to, this would be helpful. We have created this extra thing on ECCP, but also we try to proactive via our regional desk in DG Regio to encourage the managing authority. So I think this is something which could work very well. And there's a second thing, which are the emergency support tools, which will be made available also for the coronavirus. And we are working, because in DG Grow we did also, to our colleagues in DG Budge, did a pledge on what money we need, and we got also money allocated there. And now we can work on this, and this money is also, and we are looking into kind of grants which can be given then to the companies to either, for example, change their production line, invest in new kinds of production. On this, we need to work, we started to work, but we need to define how this money can be spent, and this will go, it will be a commission communication already next week, and then we have already the implementation to see how to dispatch this money. The latest figure I heard is 500 million. So there are quite a lot of pods now available. The message is now, how do we get it going very quickly? And we have proposed that the clusters are a tool to dispatch this money. That's it very quickly from my side.
That's very good. I think that's a good opportunity, and it makes sense to help clusters to define really interesting and facts projects to implement your the priorities. Thank you very much, Sula. Anything else? No, if not, we will go to the next. Very quick, Vasco, please, very quick, because we are.
Comment. Yeah. Okay, a small comment. One of the things that the tool do is to give you the closest provider. That means that people that is asking for the product, probably they know who is giving the offer. So that does not solve the problem that you mentioned, but can help a little bit to understand if the offer is real or not.
Okay, that could be. Okay, this is possibly a cluster project that could be proposed to the Commission. Okay, but I propose you to close this point because we will not have more time. That at 10 we have another meeting. It's very important. Okay, so we need to go ahead. Frank, it's your turn.
Yes. So good news is. Okay.
You have it.
Okay, I will click through the thing. So the most important learning from the VIA versus virus is that there's a nice overview on initiatives existing in Germany, but also beyond. So I browsed a lot through the entire page. Bad news is the winners of the hackathon will be announced only this evening at 6 p.m. So the concrete results from this event, which was implemented last week, are not yet available, but in the course there were very, very good overviews. And you see a lot of German initiatives, but also some international. Where I would like to draw your attention to is this one, which is the best overview on helping on makers initiatives that I could find so far. You see, including, and we discussed this also offer side or self-help availabilities for medical equipments. So I know that for instance, face masks have been produced in our region also according to examples given here. So if you could spread this document in your region, this probably would be helpful. That's the most important. Shall I send you the link? I will put the link of this in the chat. Okay. And of course, if you find in this, it's the VIA versus virus page. Most initiatives listed here are German, but some are international. Might be interesting for your region as well. I also found one from Spain in the very beginning. Here, online medical consultations. And again, tomorrow, hopefully I can report on the results as the winners will be announced this evening at 6 p.m.
Perfect, Frank. Could you share with us what are you doing your regional or national governments in relation with the homologation of these kind of devices? Are you having problems to print them and share them with the hospital or not? Do you know that?
No, basically not yet. I mean, what they did in Germany is multiplying the intensive care units, but to be honest, we have far more beds available overall than almost any other country from what I read. So this is not yet at least a shortage. What I know is that in our region, Saxony brings Italian people to our hospitals as we have more capacities to treat them. Also free capacity. So we do not have a shortage yet on medical equipment or resources. So what is being done now by our makers is producing of these face masks, which can be worn by medical staff or also in other jobs for prevention. But the actual equipment is still available.
That's very good. We need you for sure. We need Germany helping the rest. Okay. Any other comment, Frank?
No, not for now. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So next one is Hilary. Hilary.
Yeah, hello, good morning to everyone.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Do you want to be presenter?
Yes, thank you. I have a very short presentation to share with you. I don't know exactly. Okay. So can you see it?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, please be aware that I do not represent Lombardia region for sure in this moment, and I am not a doctor. So I offer you a selection of information in order to show actually the current situation in Lombardia region, especially in Lombardia region and in Italy that we are living now. I want to give you a very short numbers and element of 1 month history and top priority we are living in this moment with main bottlenecks and the actions and reaction from the public and private and research and innovation system. So we started in 21st of February with the patient 1 in Codogno, near Lodi in Lombardia region. And then immediately the decision of defining the red zone, but maybe you know this oh, sorry, I don't see the screen.
We can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So then we first started with the contact tracing, so doing testing only on symptomatic people. We arrived at the 27th of March with the growing number of contagious. Now is 2 days that the infections seems to slow down. So we can say that we have a good news, making average of the last 5 days in order to have real evidence. Nowadays, we have 40,000 cases in Lombardia with more or less 6,000 of deaths and on a total of 10,000 of deaths in all of Italy. Okay, so this was the map of the first 2 weeks. So you see the spread of the virus in the starting 2 weeks of the so last of February and 1st of March. And this is the graphic that shows in the last days, so updated about yesterday, that shows that the trend is seems to slow down. This is the trend of the first 8 axes to the emergency line and queue. Top priority in this moment are for sure treat people and I mean identifying more respirators and devices, but in this moment the strategy, the priority are to switch from measures designed to slow down the infection to target a measure to test based on contact tracing. So measure to track the traceability, the diffusion, contact by contact. Actually, Lombardia started the contact tracing since the first day, but I can say that we must say that it has been lost along the way, because you can imagine in the past few weeks we had 20-30,000 of more infected people, and so when we received this strong wave of people infected, it wasn't physically possible to make the contact tracing. So now they are starting to regain the contact tracing, arriving at the 5,000 tests per day in order to monitor. And then the second key point is always to protect the assets, the most precious assets, that are medical workers and doctors and skilled people that are on the frontier working with the problem. And please be aware that we have 6,000 of medical workers now that are positive to COVID, on a total of 300,000 only in Lombardy. Well, for sure, it's a small percentage, but it's anyway very high number of people positive. So, main bottlenecks that we see now is the low availability of reagent for testing, because I've heard in these days that it is not only a Italian problem, but they say at the European level there is this low availability of reagent for testing. And so the testing, the targeted testing is not easy to do because of this low availability, and because of a bureaucracy necessary for making available new testing and new protocols for accelerate testing. So right now the testing requires some hours, and it's good to accelerate the time of the result of the testing. Another bottleneck is the family incubators. So little clusters that you have inside the home, where you generate little family incubators, and this is a problem because the virus is still alive and active, and the diffusion is not stopped. And the so-called nosocomial infection. So when you go to the hospital, or when you are already at the hospital and you get infected, because you know the diffusion is so unstoppable. There is the low availability of protection tools. We know, everyone knows about it, and we are facing in this specific moment a dramatic problem in the south of Italy, because the virus is arriving there, and they are not prepared for that. Public actions, so the rapid development of a new organization model of public health systems, they are continuously improving. Open calls for new doctor, medical workers, and also voluntary and assistance. Empowerment, the home health network. This is, they are investing a lot in this moment in building up this home health network. So special unit of continuity of care, they call it. So ambulance or other special unit that go through the city. So without moving people, but monitoring them, treating them at home. This is an increasing trend. Then the settlement of the surveillance stays, that are other places where to host people and isolate them. For example, near Bergamo, we have already 5 hotels used for this, and other monasteries converted into isolation stays. So yes, another public action is the coordination of the collections of tools in order to then give them to the health sectors. The constructor of a new hospital inside the Milano Fair, 25,000 of square meters, and new 250 places for intensive therapy. They will be ready in the next days. The construction of 4 field hospital and military hospital near Milano, Bergamo and Cremona, and the arrival of help from abroad, so medical workers from Cuba, operators from Russia, and doctors from China. In 1 month, in Lombardia region, we have more than doubled the intensive therapy places. But yes, as someone was saying just before, it's not enough. So people are going, for example, in South Germany to be treated. Some examples of other regions are in Veneto. They are doing a very high productive number of testing per day, so 50,000 tests per day. And they realized the so-called drive-through as the Korean model, so the box like Formula 1 pit stop, where you go with your car and they test you if you are positive. And this is realized also in Emilia-Romagna, in Bologna and in other cities. They also do in Emilia-Romagna another type of test using serological kits. And then in other cases in Piacenza, where doctors are going through the city and achieving positive people, but treating them at home. So how economic and research innovation system is helping and reacting? Here I selected a sort of different information. It's not complete. Maybe in the next days I can better contact also the cluster organization in Lombardia just to have an update on this because for sure everything is going so fast. Private labs are joined the network of testing labs. For sure, the civil society and the private sector act as mutual aid and fundraising activity. There are all the cases of 3D printing companies for respirator and other tools. And the idea of one engineer of Lombardia to use the subwater mask of Decathlon and so fill with them. For sure, the conversion, so the adapting of the production to protection tools. Another thing important is the monitor system and the telemedicine. They are investing a lot in this. Also, Lombardia region had opened two open calls to select technology partners in managing this and spreading the technology. There is this active producer for the reagent production that, as I was saying, is not enough. Data analytics and business intelligence companies working on forecast and mobility data and mobile geolocation. Actually, maybe you know that the Korean model is based on this. Because they realized a very transparent way of opening data of people, of the movement of the people, for sure, without telling the privacy data, the sensible data, but sharing, for example, the age and the movement from where to where. In an open platform where all the citizens can see where the infected people are moving, or anyway, all the traceability for the contact. This could be a path.
Could you share the link to that platform? Later.
Yes,
later,
yes.
Later,
yes.
please.
Okay, thank you. Well, Politecnico di Milano is releasing studies on new materials for masks. The Confindustria Federation of Lombardia is mapping the R&D, research innovation competencies inside R&D departments, so university research departments, but also private departments. They are making a survey. Actually, I'm not so updated in this, but I can go deep. Then there are four companies working on the vaccine, the diagnostics, and advanced testing systems. Well, then yes, I've written also some opportunity that are growing up for sure for the food delivery services that are spreading, and the widespread canteen that yes are growing as a trend in order to deliver meals at home for employee on smart working, and several restaurants is joining this movement. Well, I have finished. Here there is an infographic of the Health Superiors Institution of Italy, where you find the updated data at national level. Well, as I was saying, for me, it's the first participation inside this working group, and I wanted to give actually a picture of what is happening. But for sure, it would be possible for me to getting more in contact with the cluster managers and cluster organization to keep them in a network, but not only I mean the health cluster organization, but also the other clusters. So thank you. If you have any questions.
Grazie mille, Ilaria. Would you add something, Veronica Bocci? Would you like to add something?
So first of all, buongiorno Ilaria, ciao cara.
Ciao.
Because we know each other with Ilaria, of course.
Veronica.
So yeah, thank you very much for this insight, because of course, as you have understood, Ilaria lives in the hotspot of Lombardy region, so her views are more detailed than the ones that we have here in Tuscany, for instance, and it's nice to see how her region is organizing. What I've learned since the last meeting of this group is that in our region, every bottom-up or industrial initiative refers to our president of the region. So the coordination in this case has been made at a political level, and the industrial associations are playing a role in this. We have not so many makers. There is not a community here organized, so this is something that we are trying to establish and orchestrate as much as possible in the fastest possible way. But for sure, we are improving the involvement of companies. As I said at the beginning, we are trying to move directly to the mass production through involvement of mold injection sector or other industrial sectors. So we are trying to make more steps together to try to fight these shortages, continuous shortages of devices. This is it.
Okay. Any comment, Ula? Would you like to?
No, I think that's very useful, and what was described, what's going on regional level, and what are the different actions done. What I will do, I will also try to compile what is discussed here and channel it up right away here, because of course also our commissioner is very much looking at what is done, and particularly if we have good examples and the call which Lombardy region has issued with a clear description of the material, what they need, we would like to use this call to send to other regions, say, look, you need something structured like this. Like this, we can really help to shape the demand side better.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Ula. For sure, I look for this information.
Okay, let's also stay in touch, and particularly as you are the, let's say, the region highest hit. So I think also experience you have, this might help the others. And if we can find ways how to channel this experience and to the others, this could be beneficial.
Sure, yes. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I have just one point for Italy and for the others. It's not yet ready, but I had the information that a group of scientists here in Portugal are finishing the conception of a test that is not for knowing if someone is infected, but is driven to know if someone has been infected and now is as countervirus. I don't know the name of this in English, but is now ready for working, for helping, for going to factories without being contaminated. So I think on this phase that at least in Lombardy, the curve is going down. You need to know who is ready to work first. The test is not ready yet, but as soon as it is, I will let you know.
And it's the same for any other country, okay? Because I know that there are teams working on that on other countries, and it will be really important to have this information as soon as possible for everybody.
Great.
Yes, I fully agree. This is really what we need, because this should be part of the exit strategy.
Yes, absolutely.
And I would like to take the initiative to start even publishing today on the CCP, on the new COVID portal that we just launched 2 days ago, to publish whatever information is available, say about Careables.org, Frank, or about the winners of the hackathon. Ilaria, some parts of, if not all your presentation, at least some parts, for example, how the economic and R&I system is helping and reacting. So to spread these and make the awareness about the initiative that you developed, and to mobilize, the whole European community to have more impact. So much appreciated if you could forward me all this type of information for immediate publication.
Okay.
Sure, thank you. Yes.
Antonio, may I? I have one question or proposal from Poland. We have the company in our cluster which has invented some mobile tool, some application which is helping to for this mapping of people and their contacts, something similar to that what was presented by Ilaria. Do you have this kind of solutions in your country already? Maybe I can ask this company during the next meeting to present this solution to all of you. Maybe it would be useful not only in Poland but in entire Europe, because I don't know if this kind of solutions are already present in other countries.
I think it's useful. I think it's very useful because, for example, in Lombardia, this activity of mobile geolocation has been a bit discussed because it wasn't at the start so clear about the use of the data. And but the regional administration used a model in order also to verify, to check about the stop of the mobility of the people. So how, for example, in Metropolitan of Milan, how the activity and all the transport has been stopped. And I think that sharing specific tools that can be for sure transferred, yes, it will be very useful.
Here in Spain, we are working also with a company that is not local but global. They have something like 150,000 printers coordinated in the world. Okay, they are developing its tool just to open it to everybody and allowing the possibility to manage coordinated way the printing of 3D models, masks, elements through all the country. So the idea is to allow some kind of management at regional or national level, saying, okay, we need so many masks here in this province, or so many items, or one special component in that, and the possibilities to have a general view of what is printing on the network. Okay, and I think it will be useful for probably for some of you that needs to manage this kind of big organization of networks of printers. Sorry, because here in Spain we have calculated that between the makers and ourselves we are probably around 15,000 of printers that are ready to be working for us.
Yes, if I have some seconds more, I show you. This is the website of the National Ministry of Digital Innovation that realized since the end of February a mapping of free of charge services and tools of digitalization that different companies shared and offer. So this is a very useful tool, and you see a very long list of supplier that share something concerning digital tools and services. Actually, this is mainly for learning, teaching, smart working, and other, but also on connecting and something on mobility. I don't know if you have in your country, but we found it very, very useful.
Please share the link with us also.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you. Anything else from this point? Okay. The next subject was to inform about what is happening, what will happen in the future. Patrick, do you have news about the Airbus hackathon?
Yes, good morning. Yes, as discussed yesterday, we have been informed that Airbus Group was going to organize next Monday and Tuesday European hackathon to deal with development and solution for the crisis. So they have come to us to connect with industries. So this is clearly something that would be interesting to share and connect with your own, let's say, companies involved at the time being for equipment production, for also to all regarding this supply and demand issue. So we have transfers information to our main partner here and main companies, but feel free to expand it to your own network.
So it's possible to open it to anybody interested in participating?
Yes, it's open for participation. They are using. They are going to use. I don't know if it's Airbus system, but so-called Humanity Lab platform. And in the file I sent you yesterday, you can subscribe and register. And I have no further details, but it's really free and open to the network and to the most interesting companies and partners.
I will share in the screen the file. Just one moment. So in any case, I will send the file to everybody. Okay, now that it's clear that it's open for participation. Okay.
Yes. If you go to
and the link is on the presentation, Antonio.
Yeah, for sure. Please send them to me, okay, and we will share them. Sorry. Okay. Any other comment, Patrick, from France, from your side?
No, we are, as I said, with France cluster, FPC, and other cluster, we are, let's say, working together to map key players and to forward it to the European Commission. So we have a regular, let's say, request from company how they could help either 3D makers or company having, as you mentioned, for Spanish company, capacity of 3D printing, but also conventional or mass production manufacturing platform, and our company can help for this. We shared yesterday also what we got from the national French National Standard Organization regarding barrier mask, and as I mentioned to you, Antonio, I have asked whether the specification, the requirement that has been published 2 days ago will be shared at European level, and they mentioned in the 2 days ago that it's on the way with ISO framework, but I'll try to make my best to get let's say useful and the document and under English version as soon as possible.
Yes, I shared this. I download the files, the documentation yesterday, and shared it with our network yesterday. I thought that it was very good, so we didn't wait. There is a lot of people that understand French and could take advantage of your recommendations, because as far as I know, here in Spain we don't have this kind of public homologated mass proposal. So congratulations. Thanks for sharing.
And I think just to conclude, yes, one point that has been also very discussed the last days is open source design products. And I think this could be, I mean, we have shared some information, but we could think to have, let's say, a platform, maybe the CCP, I don't know if the CCP portal could be helpful for this to gather this information about open source products to the community.
Yes, that is indeed a very concrete plan and wish.
As I think that I am sharing my screen. Are you seeing my screen? Okay, or not? Yes. Okay. Lucia, we have been speaking for 3 days now about the one form to exchange practice requests from cluster, not from companies. Okay, as you well know, we are speaking about cluster collaboration here in the CCP. Okay, so we have designed a form. It's just a draft model. It's not to be used directly. Okay, with some fields. Anais, would you comment on that?
Sure. Hi, good morning. Well, basically, I mean, we can share it also with you, Lucia, but the idea is to share practices amongst clusters, but they can obviously involve other actors eventually, but it's yeah, to learn from each other. And also, if you look at the formula, like Antonio said, we can, and I can share that link with you, but basically a summary, the category, the sector, and also that people need to describe a little bit more in details. So also we put some keywords, so it would be maybe easier to search for the type of practice that we're looking at, but we thought it was a good way to at least share with the philosophy of not just the best practices, because we're in the emergency, and so obviously some things are not tested, or we don't have the concrete numbers or so on, but that people can also have categorized their own practice and say, you know, if it's promising or if it's validated or so on. But we can share that with you, and I think that would be wonderful if we could have that on the forum, on the COVID forum, because I'm sure on the ECCP you already have way better tools than what we have at CBER. So, but the idea, I think, and we had a telco the other day also with the members of CBER, I think there's a clear need of sharing information and what works, what doesn't also. And that's what we do in the morning here in this call. But if we could share with more clusters, that would be great. I don't know, Lucia, if the ways maybe to share with you the link to this forum and see what you think about it and how it could be integrated somehow.
Of course. Thank you very much, Anais. Thank you very much. The forum that is going to be opened on Monday has more the structure that Carlos presented at the very beginning. So that's the. But I think we can. Let's see how we can integrate and develop this forum. This is an incipient, a first stage for development for the start. And there should be continuous further development. And I think it's excellent. What you developed here, and see how we can adapt it. Probably this is more for the biotechnology clusters, and how we can spread this development also to other types of clusters. So
Lucia, not exactly, because the sample that I am showing is about prototypes and so on, okay? But we want to have different kind of mask or question for different kind of projects. So we want to retrieve not only information about bio projects, but also on dissemination of economic aspects or on regulation. So the form of the concrete question will depend of the initial answers to the category and topic questions, okay? And the idea is to also inform about, for example, the scope, the relevance, the time scale, the status, if it is in prototype, approved, or in industrialized, and so on, okay? So this is critical at this moment, okay? We could do that from ECA, or we could do that with ECCP, okay? But this is critical.
Is this a service? Is this a permanent? I did not understand exactly. If we're talking of a survey that can be sent out, that's without any problem. Wait immediately.
Yeah. The idea is, for us, the idea was either, because it came from a discussion within the cluster in CBER, but that's absolutely like scalable to any other cluster, just like Antonio said, because of the need of the share of practices. So and exchanging what people do around, which is what we also do in this. So what I can do, Lucia, I don't know, Antonio, if you agree, but to share the link of this forum with you, I'm going to send it to you right away. If you want to have a look, and just let us know, because like Antonio said, for us, we want to share it with our members, but also any cluster that's interested in sharing practice. So we think it's a great place in the ECCP, but also I will send it to you right away, and let us know what you think.
Yes, and tomorrow maybe if it's a survey that we act immediately and share the survey, to the registered clusters, we can discuss together to which type of clusters it will go out.
We can discuss it later, but it's not yet. It's a draft, okay? But it's very close to be defined. But we need to wait just to finish it, okay? The question is if it is a draft, mainly because this is Microsoft Forms, and I don't know if you want to integrate it in the ECCP, perhaps we need to use another technology. So this is the main reason why it's a draft, okay? But we can discuss that later, today if you want, later, okay?
Yes, sure.
Thank you. Perfect. Anais, any other comment from your side?
No.
Thank you. I'm looking for the agenda. Okay. Any one of you wants to comment on any webinar or event that are you preparing? Can we help you on that point?
Okay, sorry. So I will comment. It's Anais again talking. So we decided also with CBER to have a webinar every Thursday. I will confirm the time. Normally, like, webinars are for the members, but those ones on the COVID will be open. So anybody interested in joining, it will be on Thursday. I would think it's at 12 on Thursday, but I will confirm tomorrow morning if you don't mind, because I'm talking with the board. But the idea, so anybody interested, it's the life science clusters, but we will discuss just like we did last week, and it's open. So feel free to join and share with us. It will be a little bit the same idea of agenda that we have today. So share of practice and then question and answer within the members.
And send to me as well so that I can
Absolutely.
publish it as soon as possible.
Thank you,
Perfect.
Lucia.
Perfect. Okay. The okay. We will skip the. I don't know if there is any comment about public authorities guidelines, information publication. I think that Lucia has all the information in the website, so the recommendation is to keep it very close to our screens, the CCP. Okay. Do you have any other? Okay, I have a comment here in Spain. Yesterday at last 9 o'clock, something like that, the Spanish government decided to close or to send every not critical worker to home. Okay, so to close the non-critical production activities. We have a problem because, as far as I know, that will imply to stop the work of the teams working on prototypes or in research against the coronavirus. There are a lot of people that are not covered by the legal declaration, as far as I know. Okay, so I just for your knowledge, perhaps you could you could learn and speak with your governments in your countries if they plan to do something similar in the future. Okay, I immediately sent a message to our government, asking them for include in the exception list those activities related to research, prototypes, and adapting production lines to fight against the coronavirus. But the fact is that at this moment, this is not included in the declaration, as far as I know.
Antonio, it's Veronica. As you know, we have the shutdown of our companies since some days already. So we have already experienced this. If this can be helpful, our organization has been this. We have in our territories one person that is the representative of the government, that is the prefetto. In France, it's le préfet. So it's a person that represents the government and has the capability to discuss on each and every territory with real people that goes there and applies for an exception, because maybe generally speaking, academia is closed for usual lessons and also laboratories and the like. But as long as one laboratory is working on fighting and finding solutions for COVID, they can just tell we are doing this, and they obtain the exemption. So I know it's some way red type, but if the government decides for a shutdown, the titles, the classification, the main classification of the companies of these industries is set at the governmental level, but exemptions may apply as long as you are working on COVID.
Very good to have that reference. Thank you very much, Ilaria.
Veronica was.
Sorry, Veronica. I didn't.
I can add, it is very actually automatic and simple, by the way, because if you just have to tell that you are working on something facing COVID, so you are free to do it. So it's not actually a complexity.
Thank you very much. So the next point, because it's time to think about closing, because in 50 minutes we have the expert group on respirators. Okay, the next point is what can we do? What more can we do? What are we not doing that we could do? Okay, that's the main point. Anais, would you discuss about your suggestion on topics?
Yeah, what we discussed yesterday just a little bit was to try to define maybe per day. Obviously, it will depend on the emergency and what's coming up, but some concrete topics. So maybe we can invite some concrete people also to the table. So I don't remember yet. I'm not seeing completely the email, but on the topics, I think obviously we've been
I am
talking
sharing
about.
the list in the screen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. So about the 3D printing, maybe we could have a specific also on. I don't know, on research in time of concrete emergency measures, or I don't know. It was really open, Antonio. I think I looked at some of the topics that was also published. I think with the European Commission, some of the main action points that were under the new budgets and the new money that's going to be available. So maybe it could be interesting to discuss this in the next few days. But like I said, the idea for me was more can we do? I think it's great what you're already doing to put all these people together, but maybe define some concrete topics so it can be, so we can invite some concrete people.
Ula, would you share with us what are your highest priorities at this moment?
For us, the highest priority is now really to work on implementation of when this money will be made available. This 500 million, which what can be a way how the money can then actually go via the clusters, via to the companies to actually do something. And the other thing is what I said also before, being in close contact with DG Regio and the regional desks, because we also expect there then a lot of questions coming into us. And when we get these questions, that maybe also might help us to see. And on the other hand, generally for the Commission, there's of course also to look at the exit strategy. What are elements of the exit strategy, and to prepare also for afterwards. I will then also see, because we get then also regular updates, and I think what you're also discussing afterwards on the ventilators, I'm also curious to see from my Commission colleagues how are the discussions going on the legal side, what is possible in order to advance on the ventilator. So these are the things where we are looking into. And of course we have this huge list of 1,100 companies which we got from you. And we want to make this usable. But again, this fits in this 500 million discussion.
Do you have an expectation of the date where these funds will be open to?
My colleagues, we had an emergency meeting on Friday, and my colleague said that the Commission communication should come out beginning of the week, which starts now, and that's why we have been asked to prepare how we can then use this money. So because it's a bigger package, but there is this part of money which should then really go to particularly to this list which we have compiled. You all have compiled, and thanks for that. And that we can make it available. So that is something we have asked the companies to get back to us, but then we can also come with something. But again, there the question is, how do we allocate the money? And you had a discussion also previous, who is serious? Who can deliver in order not to lose time with some who can't? So to get criteria how to do this would be key for us.
So I will say that the highest priority for this group will be to discuss on the most serious projects that we could define and that could quickly have a big effects at European level. Okay?
Yes, the impact. We need to show the impact.
Anais, do you see it?
Yes, I see it. Do you want me to, because I know you have to go to the next meeting, do you want me to try to organize then maybe this week already some kind of yeah, it can be of everything, but concrete topic for every day. What we've discussed, I took a few notes, and also maybe that will make it easier for us to provide concrete feedback to Ula and the colleagues.
Looking for the impact.
Yes.
And getting your ideas, this is crucial. Thanks a lot.
Great.
Wonderful.
Can I, Antonio, can I say something?
For sure.
Ilaria, I wanted to add just a detail, maybe not related to this moment, but it's an issue that in Lombardia is coming up. That is the psychological effect, not in this moment actually, but at the end. So in Lombardia there is a network of the Lombardian psychologists, the Association of Psychologists that are since the start they are sharing some free services and assistance to patients and to also medical workers and anyone who wants to access to these services, also people at home that maybe are sick or anything. But they are discussing about how to face the moment in which we will be actually out from COVID, and then we will have the health systems collapsing, because they imagine that all the medical workers will be like, I mean, back like soldiers from the war. And there will be another problem in that moment to face. So I know that maybe clusters are not so connected in this, but I wanted to share this. Okay.
I think Ilaria, I think it's a great subject, and also especially related to skills for the future, in the sense that there will be a shortage definitely in our sector, especially the healthcare, and so I can try to figure out something related to that as a subject that is for one day.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't thought before about that, Ilaria. It's a great contribution for me, at least for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the chance that you give to take part in this moment.
And also thanks from my side, because also in view of the exit strategies, this is a very good information we need to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this is clear. It's in your hand, Anais. The definition of the agenda. You know, I will remember you that we are meeting every day at 8:30 in the morning. So the link is always the same, and you are invited to forward the invitations to anybody that you think that could add to the discussion. This is not only for clusters. This is also for people from the social economy, from the makers, from whoever will be interested in adding to the discussion, to the reflection. Okay. And in fact, we want to, as Anais has just said, we want to invite experts from every thematic that we will define for every day. Okay. I think that we will start receiving people from the respirators expert group soon. Okay, we are not closing. If you want to stay, you are most welcome. Okay, but just my suggestion is to let them speak. I will try to be very brief during that meeting, just a very short presentation. I have prepared also a slide session, okay, just to let them share if they want. I don't know if they are used to use Slido or not, but they will have the opportunity to use it. Okay. And but the point is that this will be their table, their floor, not us, because it's very important at this moment to let them share. I will leave now. Anais. Okay, au revoir, Anais. Thank
Wow,
you.
ciao, grazie. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. I will also leave now, but I try to be from now on. I try to come in as often as possible. Thanks a lot.
You are really welcome.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Really welcome.
Antonio.
Bye, Christophe.
I start sharing now the content that is available on the CCP.
For sure. Thank you, Lucia.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye,
Thank
Nina.
you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Ciao, Ilaria.
Ciao, ciao, Antonio.
Are you seeing my screen? I cannot hear.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, we are.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Well, while we are waiting for people joining us, okay, perhaps Aurora, would you introduce your projects? It's something that we could.
Well, I see. Good morning to the ones that joined now. I see that Pedro is not yet on the call. I just resend him the links because he asked. So maybe we can start by another person before I have Pedro.
Okay, no problem at all. We will wait. In fact, it's too soon yet. Okay. Well, we wait. Okay, we have prepared for those of you, those that are connected now. Okay, we have prepared a Slido session. Okay, where you can put your questions or suggestion, and so it's a good tool for engage everybody attending this meeting while without interrupting the speakers. Okay, so the suggestion is to, if you are able to do that, to go to slido.com, and the code is ECA. Okay, European Cluster Alliance acronym, and that way you will be able to ask questions and make comments. I will try to share them through the share screen. And anyway, if the presentation is given to any speaker, I will try to also comment on the main question to them. Okay. So something that you can do while we wait.
Hi, Antonio.
Hi.
Sorry for being late.
Don't worry, no, you are not late.
Not Swiss late.
Okay, here, sorry. Miguel, have you heard about the Slido? Miguel Ángel, do you know Slido?
Sorry, I had it in mute. I was saying no, not really. Slido.
So please go to the slido.com, okay? And you can you can see what the audience is asking and commenting, and could be good
But
for.
I need to go to slido.com, I guess, no? It's a separate.
And introduce the code ECA.
I see. The event code.
Yeah.
The code is. Sorry, is the same as the meeting itself, or you said?
No. The website is slido.com.
Yeah.
And you will see that
ECA. I got it.
Yeah. Okay. So my recommendation is for everybody to go there through the web page or through your phone. It's very easy, and that way, as we are going to be, I think, a lot of people. Okay, it will be easier to share. Okay, ideas and to comment. Okay.
Yeah. Instead of using the chat, you mean, no? Like there.
Yeah. Because the chat it could be very, very fast changing.
Bueno, não podes.
Okay. Also, another recommendation is to close your mic, your microphones, if you are not speaking, because if not, we will have too much noise. Okay.
Hello. Good morning.
So good morning. So please close your phones, your micros. Sorry. Okay. If you are not speaking. Okay. I don't know if it's time or not. Yes, it's time. So we want to be very, very precise on times, because there will be, I think, quite a lot of people here, and your time is precious. You are working on very critical projects now, and we don't want to lose time. Okay, so the proposal is to have a quick round of intervention. We didn't define a list of projects because we don't have it. Okay, so this is the second meeting of this group. This group is it's a proposal from the European Cluster Alliance, that is an organization that joins 13 national association of clusters through Europe. But in any case, this is not at all about clusters. This is about your projects, and it's, the main goal is to facilitate your exchange of information and look for opportunities of collaboration. That's the critical point. The idea is to let you present your proposals and look for collaboration, as I said before. We don't have a time. We will take as long as you want, but we don't. We need to be precise. We need to be quick. We need to be very clear in the definition. We cannot spend 20 minutes in every project. So I will pass the presentation rights to all of the speakers, okay? But please speak just about projects, about technical side, no big presentation of yourself or your companies. Only one representative by projects, or at most two, but very quick. Introduce yourself, summarize your project, define your challenges, share your needs. Okay, and if you think that you could help others, please raise your hands. Or at the end of the session, you could send to me one email saying, okay, I want to participate in more meetings of this kind, and my contact details will be that, and I want to share my contact details or not with the rest of the group. Okay, that's the proposal. As I said before, if you want, go to slido.com and introduce the ECA code, you will be able to share your ideas while others are speaking. Please be brief. I'm not a specialist on that, so I have proposed Miguel Angel, that is here, to help us in the coordination, in the moderation, okay? Because you know far better than me what we are speaking about, okay? So this is it. And now I will close my mouth and let Miguel
Antonio,
Angel.
one quick thing. I don't see the names to refer. Okay, now I got it. Like okay, yeah, just to Thank you.
So Miguel Angel, your turn.
Okay, so good morning everyone here. I'm not directly in charge of anything about the respirator in the Spanish team in the resistance project. I'm aware of a lot of it, and I'm just gonna go one by one on the list that I can see here on the right. If you open, you will see that there is the icon with the people saying 27. If you click there, you will see a list of all of you. And then I propose that we go one by one, and as Antonio said, that you briefly present yourself and your project mainly. So we are a lot of people, so please only restrict to very important info here. So I see that, for example, the first one is Veronica Elena. Can you please speak?
Okay, good morning, Miguel Angel. So I'm a cluster manager, so still a part of us right now are just in listening mode. So up to now, I cannot bring any specific idea on project, yet we are working on moving some traditional productions towards ventilator respirators parts, and doing this through injection molding. So in order to reach a massive production versus additive manufacturing. That's it.
Thank you very much. Then we go now to Alina Capitanu. Alina Capitanu, sorry.
Yes. Hello, Miguel. Hello, Antonio. I'm Alina from Romania. I have been invited to speak from the technical part of our status in Romania in developing ventilators or respirators. I will pass later on the word to him because I'm being a vice president. I am not a technical person also. I am facilitating projects because I'm quite connected with the needs of health hospitals, and I can facilitate this job to facilitate the connection between the new respirators, ventilators that can be developed now to the needs of hospitals that are members of my health cluster. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, I had it in mute. Thank you, Alina. Can we go now for Aurora Baptista? And please, Alina, I think it's you. Can you close the microphone? Yeah.
I have closed my microphone.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Okay, good morning all. As I said in the beginning, before some of you were here, as well as Alina, I'm much more coordinating than a technical person, so I'll pass the word to Pedro, or now, or when you say, because Pedro is the guy that that is running the ventilators.
Thank you, Aurora. Okay, then we go now for Carolina S.
Miguel, I will propose to go directly to the person that is developing the project, if you don't mind.
Sure, of course. Then is basically Pedro, no?
Pedro, yeah.
Please, Pedro, go ahead.
Yes, good morning all. I'm coordinating a project for building 2 prototypes of a ventilator and then an open source prototype of ventilators, and then in the end, which will hopefully be very soon, we'll share all the info with all the world, hopefully. So, and I'm going to pass the word to the next, and I'll explain the project later after the presentation.
Pedro, just one quick thing. I believe that you have a GitLab, but this is later on, no? You will explain about this, because I really believe that this is a really nice way of sharing the progress and everything.
Yes, I'll share it later. Okay.
No, but Pedro, the proposal is not to make now a turn of presentation. No. We need to go directly to the projects. So please.
Yeah. So we are in a point. We didn't finish it yesterday. We'll finish it today. We had a few issues on integration to the control software with the control board, and well, we have been working till 5 o'clock in the morning, so it has been tough. And we are moving really fast. And what's happening for who was not here in Wednesday or Thursday, sorry, and is that we are developing a control software and the control board for two different systems. One which is based on the mechanical pump, in this case with an Ambu bag, and the second one which is a pneumatic ventilator who uses the facilities of the hospitals, oxygen and compressed air as a supply of gases for the patient. And we are using the same software and control systems for both ventilators for medical use. And because one critic I have been receiving a lot is that ventilators have doctors say that it's very difficult to work with them. So we are focusing on algorithm and ease of have a good user interface, so it's easier for them to work with them. So I'm open to questions.
We can see you're very tired, Pedro. You didn't sleep at all. Let me tell to the group that we've been already working cross-border with a Studios project, because what we are strong on is what they were lacking. So we cross help each other, so the project can be finished as soon as possible. Pedro shared on the previous meeting the link to the open source place where we're putting the data, which is GitLab. Maybe Pedro, you can add that to share with today's group too.
Yes, I'm sharing on Slido our GitLab, and just to make clear the point at what we have fully dominated all the sensors and inputs and outputs. Everything is built in the programming, and what's missing right now, it's the user interface interacting with the control board. We already can control the machine, and still the only thing that's missing actually it's the user interface. We have this user interface. It's a prototype user interface for medical validation of the info they want, or it's really important on screen for them. So we have several inputs from doctors, but we want the machine full running for their validation, and that's what's missing right now in the project. So I'm putting the
Okay, there is a question on the slide about which organization are you working for? Will you define it, please?
Yes.
Aurora, which is your organization? Could you tell us?
In fact, we are several companies. We still don't know personally each other, but we got together through contacts that know other contacts. And the teams are working separately in terms of physical location. And on Pedro's company, it's being built the larger project, the one that connects.
We need to go, we need to be very concrete, please, Aurora. Names and
Okay,
very...
so Pedro is of Morphis Composites. He's got a location near Cascais, and he got not only Morphis teams but also some other people that are experts in some problems, and they get together and finish the things. We've also lawyers and people to work on the fronts that we are not running on risks because of some patents and things like that. So there's a lot of people around. My company, Be Very Creative, is on the north of Portugal, and we're working on the smallest one, the Ambu project. But we are always working together, connected by the nets. So that's it.
Thank you very much. I would suggest to go to the Asturian project because you are related. Could it be?
Yeah, I'm just thinking
sure.
if I'm waiting right now to see if...
Oh, let me just tell something. These projects, although they're not yet finished, they are already under the screen of the Portuguese authority for homologation.
Okay, thank you, Laura. I can speak for now for the Asturias team until our doctor is basically here.
If not, we could wait. No problem. We could wait. Go to another project.
Yeah. Okay, so then basically the next one would be, if I'm right, Carolina S. From Aragon. Please, Carolina.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually not participating in any concrete project. I work as innovation manager in a health research institute. We basically we are in touch with Ita Innova, with Jose Manuel, just to see if we can help out with the regulatory issues, or as it was mentioned before, for the homologation of the devices. So I'm here more as a listener or to needs capturer, let's say.
Thank you, Carolina. So who will be, we don't need to go through all the names, just raise your hand or speak whoever has a project, please, because we need to go directly to the project.
Please.
Yes, Joanna.
Please, Miguel.
Oh, sorry,
Miguel,
sorry,
ask
Vasco.
Paulo Roberto.
Vasco, Joanna.
Ask Paulo Roberto to talk.
Okay.
This happened already. That's fine. Sorry, because this is a platform that is very difficult when two persons are speaking at the same time. Please, when Antonio is, this is not about anything else than trying to be as fast as possible to share information. So whenever this kind of thing happens, please just stop and for a moment, and then we will continue as fast as possible. I think that, as Antonio says, that maybe perhaps better than going one by one to present ourselves. Maybe I can just name the names, and then you can tell me whether you have a project and you can present it here briefly, as you saw, for example, that Pedro did. And if not, we continue to the next one. We will have time to present ourselves, and that there is no doubt about that. It's only to go direct to the information. So in that sense, I see here, you can tell me, for example, Daniel Gonzalez, should I stop here?
Joanna Feigo has raised her hands. I will say, Joanna, go ahead.
Please.
Yes.
Hi, good morning. So I'm here from representing Health Cluster Portugal, and in the cluster we have talked with different companies that are working on technologies regarding COVID, and we bring 3 new ideas that we are transforming in projects. Okay, the first one is relating with monitoring symptoms of COVID at home. So we have a company that develops sensors to monitor 5 different parameters from temperature to...
Joanna, sorry.
Yeah.
Just respirators. Today
Sorry?
is just respirators. Just respirators.
Oh,
We
just
are speaking only
respirators.
about the respirators.
Okay,
Sorry.
I didn't know that. Sorry. Okay, I have
This is
another
just
one.
respirator today. Okay, you are invited to join our meetings on 8:30 every day of ECA, European Cluster Alliance. You are invited to join those meetings and share your experiences on other projects. Okay, but
okay.
now
So regarding
just
ventilators,
just
okay,
ventilators. Okay, sorry. Okay.
No problem. I didn't know it. Sorry. Regarding respirators, so what we have talked with some physicians that are in the front line in hospitals, and one thing that they ask us is they have some difficulties on managing and operating respirators if they didn't saw that respirator, because they have a lot of new ones, and so they need some support. So we are creating a specific line, phone call and video line, where we connect these physicians that are in the front line near the respirator with physicians that already know the respirators and are at home because they are in quarantine or they are exhausted, and they can help them in real time to operate the ventilators.
Very good. Thank you very much. So that's a very good idea.
What we
next
need,
one.
So one thing that we need here, mostly we need 2 things. One is to map all the ventilators that are coming to Portugal and that are already in Portugal. And the other one is to create a volunteer physicians that want to help us. Okay.
Very good. Thank you. Next one, with a project, please speak. With a project.
Yeah. Hello. This is Xavi Alonso. Can you hear me?
Xavi, yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
good. So I am from HP, from Hewlett Packard, you know, the 3D printing company. We are working very close with Leitat, okay, which is the first respirator that we are working and hopefully try to qualify by Tuesday. So as I said, we are working very close with them, with Leitat. We tried the first prototypes on Thursday with animals. We didn't pass the test because the motor heated up too much. All this weekend, the team has been redesigning it, and I hope that tonight we will have a first prototype with all the fixes. Tomorrow we will be testing it with animals again, and if it works, they will be testing with a real patient. Okay, and as I said, on Tuesday we hope that we can go to the Spanish FDA, no, the AMPS, to really get the certification. In parallel, we are working on different prototypes, to keep on evolving the design, and also working with potential partners that later on will be the ones manufacturing those respirators. Here in the meeting, actually, he forwarded me. We have Juan Ramon from BSH, and on Monday we will start the first knowledge transfer with them, so they are capable, by the end of the week to start producing those respirators.
Perfect. What will be your main barriers? Do you need something from any other team? What will help you?
Yeah, the main problem is that the sourcing of some critical components. We are not talking about few units. Okay, this is something that we can get quite easily with our supply chain. But when you talk about volume, hundreds, thousands of units, then is where you have the problem. For example, on motors, we specifically need a stepper motor with an encoder So this is not easy to find. We are, again, as I said, we are contacting some of our internal suppliers, also with VSH, and Juan Ramon may talk later, also to understand their supply based partners. Other areas are some critical sensors, some airflow sensors and so on that are required also for this, for passing the certification. And basically these two. So if you know any manufacturer on steppers that is capable, with encoders that is capable to produce those parts, yeah, input's welcome.
Okay. Will you share with us the specification of the pieces or the motors or whatever you need? If you share it then with us, we
Yeah,
could look for the.
Sure. It's
No, not now. Send a message.
I will.
If you want.
Okay, I can send a message.
And we could put it together if you want.
Sure.
Or you could share now. You could tell us, but as probably we will need more details.
Sure,
So,
I can send an email later.
I think NEMA motors are an issue for a lot of people, and I would like to give an input, because there's a system I'm writing here right now, and it's called O-Drive, and O-Drive is a servo board based on ESC motors for air modeling, and it's you can encode it and have a servo motor which is pretty much reliable. I'm gonna put the links down here so everybody can take a look if it has that problem.
I appreciate that, but we need to look for this type of motors. I mean, the design, the firmware, everything, the algorithms, everything that we have already are towards this type of design. And if we want to qualify the unit by Tuesday, we need to go for that with that motor. Of course, the design will be open and in a way that anyone can later on add their own motors and so on. But then this may require another type of qualification.
Yes,
Xavier, we made a request for NEMA motors from suggestion from Aurora 3 or 4 days ago. So we have a quite high numbers of suggestions from Spain on that area. So I will share it with you. Okay.
Okay.
Next project.
Other projects?
Yeah. Enrique Ramirez.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Enrique Ramirez. Well, we are prototyping a simple pressure control ventilator that is inspired in those that were used in the 80s, right? And our project lead is a UK old R&D director, right? And we have so far, I mean, we initiated this with a global international challenge with more than 50 participants. And right now we have a full specification, we have a bill of material, we have initiated the procurement of the different parts, and we are building our prototype next week, right? So I think we have some, some possible collaboration with Pedro Monteiro, that was commenting that they were working also on a system. Maybe should be a similar system, and that's it. And so this is a system for multiple bed ward system, right? It is not only for one, right? It's for a multiple bed ward system. Okay, and it's very, very simple. You know, we don't have, in principle, we don't have challenges of components. Yeah, I mean, we have everything. I mean, in principle, we have everything we need. But for sure, we have also shared our specification for people that can, you know, provide suggestions. Okay, so I am connected with Pedro Monteiro just to try to move on together and to join efforts.
Perfect. Nicolas Bronchard. Could you comment?
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Nicholas. I'm from Belgium. We are a project called, we just call it Breath for Life. We're about 250 volunteers working for the last 12 days on the respirator. Where we are right now, we are finalizing the design. It will be open source, of course, and we plan to share everything, all the drawings, mechanical, electrical controls, everything, including specifications and requirements, probably on Tuesday. We are working on the special authorization with the Belgian authorities as we speak. So we hope to have that also by Monday or Tuesday. We will have a first set of manufacturing of respirators, hopefully by the end of the week, quickly with fab labs all over Belgium, to have a first set of a few tens of respirators. But in parallel, we are working with major manufacturing companies in Belgium who are preparing both with the supply chain and the manufacturing areas to assemble, we hope, hundreds of those in the next 2 weeks. And that's the theoretical plan still, but that's the idea we're working on. We don't have major roadblocks right now, with the exception of time. All we need is a little bit more time. But technically, the medical doctors have already tested the prototype, so we are making some minor adjustments, but it should be fine. And hopefully the discussions with the authorities in Belgium will be fine and smooth to get this special authorization. I just sent a couple of messages because maybe there are things we can learn from each other with Pedro and Jose. So I'm creating the contacts. And if you need any information on our project, please feel free to contact me. We have a website, so we'll share all the details, design probably on Tuesday. But in the meantime, I can share everything we have in terms of requirements and specs and everything else.
Thank you very much.
Antonio, you are doing much better. I will just mute, okay?
Don't worry. Sorry, Miguel, but we need to go directly to the projects because if not,
for sure.
I don't know the name of Amy C.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello. Good morning. My name is Antonio Cunha from DTX Digital Transformation Lab in Portugal, and also CEIA, another center or a big center for engineering here in Portugal. At DTX, with several techniques of 3D printing, we are producing several components to help doctors in the hospitals to make some different types of connections. But at CEIA, we are really developing a new respirator, a complete respirator that the prototypes are already made. This is developed in a quite collaboration with the doctors here in Braga and in north of Portugal, in Porto also. And we hope to have a first set of this equipment until the end of April. We promise to produce to 100 units, and we will deliver 100 units until the end of April. And during May, this 100 units will be prototypes. But after that, in May, we will achieve larger quantities, because this will start to be produced outside of CEIA with some major Portuguese companies, manufacturers that are also in this loop. Since the beginning, the project has been designed with huge attention to supply chain and using different type of components, valves, and whatever it is that would be easy or not very difficult to get in the market. And so until now, we don't expect major problems in this supply chain. Of course, this is done in an open basis, and of course we could also share our projects with you, and we'll be pleased to have your comments and your collaboration.
Okay. What will be your main challenge? Do you need anything?
Of course, things the first prototypes are already working, or we are starting to have the feedback from the medical community. I don't have any specific thing that I'm concerned now, but I'm sure we will need lots of things in next week. This project started almost more than 2 weeks ago. In fact, if you are in Portugal, or if you see the news in Portugal, last Friday we have the visit of the Prime Minister that saw all this development and the first prototype. So things are going well and with lots of support. But I'm sure we would like very much to profit from the knowledge and the experience that I already understand that is available in this group, and that Vasco Lagarde suggested me to join you and to be in this call this morning. So I think it will be very, very interesting to also to share the information with you, to benefit, and also to share with you what we are producing.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Other projects.
Hello, my name is Ilia Buzun. I'm from Romania. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. Here in Romania, we have 2 prototypes already. Of course, just prototypes, not something very high level. But it's working in Iași, a region from Romania. We have a prototype, but it doesn't have flow control of air or something special. But we have a team in Timișoara that have a more complex prototype, and we will try to collaborate with them for developing in this product further. The certification is a problem because we understood that without this certification we can't go further to use these devices on the people. But the team from Timișoara already is working to this problem. I have a link if you want to see the project from Timișoara. I can paste it in the chat if you are interested.
For sure, for sure.
Antonio, may I just jump in just a moment? Just in the direction of the specifications. I don't know how is it in the rest of the countries here represented. I can say that for Spain we have an express validation process. So basically, several steps, several tests that you need to pass. So you don't need to go for the full homologation in this sense. It's for the emergency situation. You just need to fulfill several steps, like at the beginning with an animal that is healthy, then a pathological animal, and then humans.
Okay. Thanks.
Actually, you go from the healthy animal directly to the patient.
Yep.
This is what we are doing.
Okay.
Just to share experience in Belgium, there is also, we are working with the authorities for a speedy fast-track authorization process, so not the full certification, of course. And right now they don't even talk about any animal testing, so they just talk about functional testing and testing with medical doctors, but without going through the animal steps.
Good to know.
Yes. Yes, here in our project we do the same, right? We have been advised that animal or human testing is I don't know if it is required or not. This is not a kind of a drug. This is more device, and everything about functional testing should be covered in the standard 66101. means that's the right one. You know, so I think that is the right direction to follow, right?
Here in Portugal, we will do the first tests with animals using pigs at the animal house of University of Minho. Yes, this will start soon.
Okay. Other project.
Hi, I'm Paulo. Can I go?
Yeah, for sure.
Am I allowed to share my screen with you to be easier?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Just one moment.
So I'm an anesthesiologist in Gaia, north of Portugal, and basically I was working by myself with this project. Let me see if I can screen. I was using same kind of connection in the past. This is with some duct tape and some available materials, and I've used non-invasive respirators in an invasive fashion on patients. Now,
sorry, Paulo, we are not seeing your screen yet.
Let me see if now I can show it. Are you seeing it now?
Yeah, now, yes.
Yeah. So I've used this before. This is a non-invasive respirator connected to an invasive system. And now I've made some slight modifications to the circuit so that it could include an HEPA filter in the expiration port, so that to avoid aerosols, bioaerosols. I've been testing it with Bosch technologies, and every measurement made, pressure, flow, volume, programmed on the ventilator, is the same that happens on the airway connection. I can show you some video. I hope it works. This is it's not only the prototype. Every doctor can do it in their hospital now, as of today. They just need those components, and they are all available in their hospitals. I don't know if you can see the mouse, my cursor, but this is the Rubin valve. Can you see it? Hi.
Yep.
Can you see it? I'm not listening.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't see you. My screen is in full screen. This is the Rubin valve, and this is one of the key components. This one is from Intersurgical. It is available on their catalog for sale, and this is standard CPAP valve for AMBU. This is just an O-ring. The only thing that's missing in most hospitals are those connectors. This is one example. It's just like a garden hose with specific characteristics in diameter. So my project is just ready to go. You can start it in your hospital at any time. Now,
Paulo, do you have the design of that part that is missing in the hospital, so that we can add that on the requests to makers to do, or make it priority on the injection molding projects?
There's no need for that kind of difficulty. It's just a rubber sleeve that off the shelf in the food industry. It's just 20 millimeters internal diameter, 24 millimeters external diameter, 40 shore of hardness. It's just that. You just have to cut it and adapt it, and you just need it because the CPAP valve and the Rubin valve and filters don't all have the same size.
I was speaking about the part you said that was missing in the hospitals.
It was not. It's not missing.
It's a tube.
Yeah, it's a tube. The other part, the Rubin valve or the PIP valve, you can just buy it from suppliers, from Intersurgical or and from Ambu. And there are also other vendors. I just know these two, but there are other vendors that manufacture this product.
Sorry, I thought it was another part because you said that and we were seeing another screen. Okay, sorry.
Sorry, let me see if I can share it again. So this is, can you see the cursor? Or no, yeah. Please answer. Yeah.
Yes,
so
yes,
this is the corrugated tube from the ventilator. This is the Rubens valve from Intersurgical. This is a standard filter from Intersurgical. And this on the top is the PIP valve from Ambu. And those parts in the middle are connectors, just because the diameters don't fit. And it's just a hose in the food industry. The results
Paulo, can I ask you a question about this? Can we use retractable tube? So a tube that shrinks with heat,
yeah,
so you can adapt very easily from in one side and the other side.
Yes, you can, but there's a problem. If you do it, you might damage the other components, the reusable components, like the Rubens valve. You don't want it because you want to autoclave reprocessed valves. There's no need because they are expensive. They cost like $50 each. There's no need to dispose that. But yes, you can use it.
Paulo, do you have this in a website or in a video? Do you have?
I've just been working all night producing an article, a paper, a scientific paper to deliver right now to the scientific community, because this is just easy. There are non-invasive ventilators everywhere. I've used in our test the Breas Vivo 40. It's one of the lowest end home ventilators that is widely available. Please, Miguel.
Will you send this paper as soon as possible to us? Will you do that?
Sorry?
Will you share your paper with us?
I cannot do it. After I send it to the journal, I can't.
But not the paper. Maybe what you can share with us is the preprint. Basically the
design.
The thing that you just the screen that you share, that is already enough.
Yeah, I have other documents that can that I can share with you how to make it. I just cannot share with you the measurement results.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm interested that everyone can do it fast right now, today.
I have a couple of questions, Paulo. It's amazing. I need to ask you two things. One thing is there any way that can be done by intubation instead of by?
Yes, this is for intubation or tracheostomy. That's just for any kind of invasive ventilation. Or any kind
so
of
intubation would be also an option. You don't need to do tracheotomy to use it. In principle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just I used it. I was using it off label, and just because the patient tracheostomy and was in a ward.
Just in case that there is a technical need for doing the tracheotomy, and then you cannot do it, but you say that you can. Perfect. And then the second thing.
Connect it to any kind of tracheal tube. The connections are standard, 22 millimeters.
Sorry, then I got it wrong again. Do you really need all the time to do tracheotomy, or is there any way that you can just?
No, you don't need to do tracheotomy. You can use tracheal tube, orotracheal, nasotracheal, whatever tube. It's already in place. This is just an adaptation of the circuit.
Perfect, I got it. Then the second thing is more complicated because non-invasive ventilators. You need to correct me. I'm probably completely wrong, but non-invasive respirators are, I think, different from invasive respirators in the sense that of the sensors. Basically, when you are sensing the flow that is coming out of the patient and so.
That's easy. It seems complicated, but it's not. Because there are two ways of doing it. The first and easier is because some ventilators have time cycle modes, like VCP for especially, like VCP or usually VCP, volume control. Ventilation control pressure ventilation. The others that are PA, pressure assists, you just have to do one thing, is to make the trigger so high that no one can trigger the ventilator, and the ventilator will automatically enter in the safe mode that has time cycle program.
So,
probably,
but then, yeah, sorry.
Probably there are some ventilators that don't have this ability. For instance, I have some doubts about the V60, the Philips V60, because of their automation. But lower-end non-invasive ventilators for sure can do it.
Okay, but then it's an amazing way to go through. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
It would be good to try to help you, Paulo, to organize the information and publish it as clear as possible, as soon as possible, if you evaluate it as a good possibility. Okay, I don't know if somebody.
I'm sending you.
You are alone. You are alone at this moment, no?
No. Yes, I am alone at home, but I'm working with different people from engineering to make measurements, and the another group in helpful engineering project to connector that helped me find the right part, right rubber hose. My main difficulty now is with the Portuguese authority.
Sorry?
I was forced with the Portuguese authority. They're not so interested. So I was forced to make the measurements and to publish the article first, so then it can be applied. But I'm sure that in countries when the ventilators are needed more urgently than in Portugal, this solution can save lives now.
When you are talking about the government, are you talking about Infarmed?
Yes, I've talked with Infarmed, the Secretary of State of State, not of State, the Health.
Jamila?
Secretaria de Estado, Secretário de Estado da Saúde. And I've
Jamila
talked. No, Salles.
If you want, we can try to help you. So
yes,
from HealthQuest in Portugal have a good relation with them. Maybe
I've
we
sent
can
all the documentation to them and to Infarmed and to our ARS North. I've sent every document that I had to the authority.
Even after this new legislation that they released 2 days ago, I believe.
Yes, and I just need them to say to the hospitals, start buying Rubens valves and CPAP valves because they are just obsolete equipment and they're not widely available, so must be bought, and to distribute the hose, the rubber connector. We can provide them for free.
Okay, Paulo, if you want, you can leave me your email and I can try to help you, okay?
Yeah, I will leave to everyone my email. Everyone that needs additional information, I can send you. I just wanted to know where to put the document, one PDF.
if you want, you could send it to me, okay, or to whoever you want, okay. But I will
Please
write
send me
my
your
email
email.
here. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will send it now.
And I will share it with everybody that
yeah. Just
that I
one
know.
problem
Yeah.
that is in Portuguese, but for sure.
But we could, if you think, I don't know because I don't know technical, but if you think that this is interesting project, we could work quickly to translate it and organize it to even to help other countries to know about it. Okay.
Yeah, of course you can translate it and share it.
Antonio and Miguel Angel. Victor needs to leave soon, so if we could take the floor to just briefly explain the Malaga Respirator project.
Sure, please.
Do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paulo.
Sorry, no, the thing is that just now we are with clinical trials with humans. Well, there are some issues that we have to solve. We made design a respirator for intubation by using pneumatic devices as well automation control based on PLC PLC devices. The device is homologated, is approved by the Spanish drug agency. We tested and we tested with artificial lamb, with pigs, and now with humans. We have all the components in order to manufacturing 300 units next week. And it's a cluster that with partner with a regional hospital, the regional government, and Fujitsu. Fujitsu will be the company that will manufacture the respirator. And this is more or less the project. Sorry, because, well, I have to solve some things with respirator. One thing is that it's mandatory to have a mixture between oxygen and regular air. It's mandatory. That is the last thing that the people send me by email. The thing is that can be a device that is outside of the respirators. It's not necessary that is integrated, but you have to get these devices in order to connect to the respirator. This is the problem that I have to solve just now.
Any comments on that problem from anyone?
Yeah, Jose Juste from BSH. Victor, I understood that you are trying to find someone to produce.
No, yes, no, we have now well, we have to attach to the respirator a mixture of oxygen and regular air.
No, I mean, you have the device already approved, and
yes,
I understood you have 300.
Yes, I have all the components to produce 300 units.
Yeah, and you have arranged to produce these 300, or you are looking for partners?
Now I have arranged with Fujitsu.
With Fujitsu, okay. Okay, good. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
If you need anything, we are also, maybe we will speak later, Juanra or both Juanras or Emilio, we are involved also in 3 projects, and one of them is like yours, connected to the piping of oxygen and so.
Sorry for interrupting. Sorry. I think that Victor had to leave right now, like right away. So
Jose, if you want, Victor is in Malaga, and I am going to be the link between him. He's going to the hospital now to do the clinical trials. So you can discuss with me. I'm more available than Victor, and we can coordinate after this call. Yeah.
But no problem, Jose, because I will put you in contact directly with Daniela and probably with Victor. I will take care of it.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Can you explain your project in any case, Jose, as you have started?
Well, there are
Okay.
people connected. We are 5 from BSH, so maybe there are more qualified people in technical. But we are, just to say that we have been asked by different initiatives to participate. So we are involved in Leitat. We are also with Asturias, and we are also with this specific of, how to say, it's not, I don't know how to say that. That is with a mix of oxygen and so. So maybe Emilio can explain a little bit technically this one, the last one I mentioned.
Okay.
Emilio?
Yeah. We are collaborating with two main groups. In fact, most of them are located in Zaragoza. And the first one is Respira Padre. And with the Respira Padre, now we have really good results in terms of using. We tried with some porks, and now we tried in the hospital, and looks like that the system is working quite well. And we are waiting for the final approval. So if you can support us in the final approval, will be great. Because after this testing with humans looks like that is perfect, but we don't know how to proceed. And in this project, we are mixing oxygen and gas. We cannot do in a motorized way, but in our company we have one valve, manual valves that are able to measure with a very good accuracy. So we are able to create any kind of mixture between 24% to 100% of oxygen, and with a resolution around 0.1%. So it looks like that is good enough for the humans, and this is one of the projects. So gas is quite close to be finished, and we have a video. The only pending is the approval, and we are collaborating with other initiatives also from Aragon. And in this case, we are creating just a high pressure, high volume ventilation with a mixture. We're speaking about 105 liters per minute of gas combined with air, and it's just to put in over in a mask, not just internal going with the mixture in the breath, but it's just a mask. And in this case, we are also working with this mixture. So if you have any issue with the mixture of gas air, we can try to manage. And this is the most important topics that we are working on.
Emilio, I think that Cesar is asking you, like, which hospitals are you using for the clinical trials?
This is the Army Hospital in Zaragoza. I don't know exactly the name, but yeah.
Hospital Militar.
Yeah, Hospital Militar, but I don't know. I don't know if they have a second name, a complete name.
So you need help with the authorities. How else could we help you?
Yeah, well, after this trial, if you have a procedure how to get the approval, so these are the 7 steps. So we try with animals. Animals say okay. With humans, what are the next steps? Should we go directly to the ministry, or should we go to another trials, or try it in different hospital at the same time, or what should we do?
Just to add to this and to explain in parallel to this week, I think we have to start to prepare production facilities. We have factories now stopped, and we have a lot of people ready to collaborate. So as soon as we have this approval and we have clarified all of the bill of materials, and so we will arrange, I won't say a big team, but a team enough to organize supplies, to organize production, and so. But I think that the first step should be this week. This is what I have in mind, and we share to produce maybe 5-10 appliances with the final specification, and then to be tested in the field, and in parallel to continue preparing for a higher series production. That maybe this could be, I want to dream a little, but this could be maybe after Easter, if everything is running.
Just to clarify, hi Cesar here. I've been working with the Forum on Coronavirus Maker from the very first day, and yeah, I'm collecting all this data for a report. And tomorrow there's a call organized just with all respirator project, mostly from Spain. It's going to be. No, I don't need to share my screen. Thank you for
Okay.
the.
Okay.
No problem.
Don't worry.
So tomorrow there's going to be a call at 10 just to make people working in different respirator projects to meet each other. And this is organized by Jorge from Fundación Cotec in Spain. And they have invited someone from the Spanish Agency of Food and Medicament, or la Agencia Española del Medicamento, so they can clarify on the requisite for certification and express approval. So I think it could be really interesting for you to be there, so you can directly ask the question to people responsible of this process.
Okay, thank you.
This is mostly for Emilio that was wondering about next steps. I think this could be kind of the next step, just getting this clarification and share information.
Okay, can you share with us the invitation to be connected?
Yeah, I will. Let me just locate that and I will paste it into the link.
Okay,
into
thank
the
you.
chat. Sorry.
Perfecto,
Yeah.
muchas gracias.
What time is it, Cesar?
It's 10.
10 o'clock.
It's 10 in the morning. Yeah, I will just share all the information here on the link. Just give me a second.
Thank you.
Maybe, I mean, this is sorry, Antonio, just maybe this is interesting or not. Just to share with you, we are aware, and this is already in the news in Spain, that they are already collecting the respirators from veterinarian centers, basically so these ones are already also being used, and if in other countries you are not yet, consider it, because it seems a valid option.
Yes, here in Portugal we are doing that also.
If I can intercept the conversation for half a second, this is David. I'm also working with the Forum Coronavirus Makers with Cesar, but I'm also one of the founders of the Arduino platform. And we in Arduino discussed that very many of the respirators in the world seem to be using either PLCs or Arduino boards or anything in between. And we are very aware of the possible shortages of parts. So we actually wanted to call everybody for another conference on Thursday to discuss that. So we will make a public call if you're interested. And we will be discussing about which are the best options for manufacturing, and is Arduino together with ARM bringing this up, because there's going to be a shortage of parts, and it's a 16 weeks lead time. And so we want to advise people about which are the best options, not just in microcontrollers, but also other parts. And that's it.
Yep.
Wonderful.
I think
Wonderful,
this
David.
is very important. Yes.
But do you have a time fixed for that session on Tuesday?
Yeah, we're talking about from 4 o'clock, so that we can also tune in people from all over the world, because there's a lot of initiatives in Latin America. Especially there's a lot of people replicating the Resistencia respirator, because it's made with off-the-shelf components. So and it's based on an Arduino board. So of course we are very concerned, and we really want to help people with this, and we want to help people making the right choices already now, so they don't waste time, especially if they're going to go into medical trials. So our idea is to make a round very similar to this, where people will spend 10 minutes talking about the differences between their things and the other people's things, and then break up into sessions discussing hardware and software and so on. Also, because if you want to buy 100,000 Siemens PLCs, I'm not really sure Siemens can deliver. So I think you really need to reconsider the ways you people are manufacturing your devices. That's it.
Would you share the link with us?
Yeah, of course. We're working around the clock, because we made a decision on Friday at Arduino when we realized that this thing was escalating at this speed, and there was like so many groups all over the world. we were getting like requests for like tens of thousands of units from our boards, which is in principle no problem because we managed to stop the Italian government from not letting us deliver things. We managed to make Arduino into a medical relevant company overnight. So we also want to understand which kind of parts people are going to need in every respect, from sensors and so on, so we can also eventually stock all of those things to help people out. So yeah, as soon as I have the time, I will share with you, and will be more like a Zoom call close for the people that are in the project, but we will also stream it live because I will be all the people that might not be able to attending. I want to have it on YouTube so anybody later can also look at the conversation. And of course, if anybody has an issue with privacy or patent pending stuff, or like Paolo right now, paper pending stuff, we will figure out a way to make it work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Another project.
So just clarify one thing, David. David, you will send that invitation for everyone that is in
Yeah, I will
this
share it with
call.
Antonio. Since Antonio is in contact with all of you,
Okay.
Antonio can circulate the call. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Either later
Thank
today
you.
or first time tomorrow morning.
This will be very interesting. Yes.
Thank you very much. Another project. No more projects. Ramses is not here, I understand. Miguel Angel, would you comment on?
I don't know if I mean, perhaps David, do you want to take the lead on that, or Cesar?
No, I think you're actually knowing a lot more about the project than me. I'm more involved in the social aspects of the project, so please.
Okay. In that case, yeah, tell me, Cesar.
Jose Ramon, you could explain the other initiatives where we are also involved.
Okay, here Jose Ramon Garcia from BSH. So we are involved not in the design, but we are supporting design and preparing for producing, I will say, or several initiatives in parallel. I will say we are with LightAd, we are also with the ARA Maker, with Coronavirus Maker. Also, we have discussed this pneumatic solution. But I think the most important is somehow we see a kind of race of different designs, and this is why I'm also very enthusiastic about this meeting, trying to join forces, because as you mentioned, David, before, we expect the main problem is not just to have designs, just to produce them because of sourcing, because of components, and so. And this is more or less our role here. This is more or less, we are also following two additional designs out of Spain, one of them of the Massachusetts Institute. It's quite interesting. They are also, it's an open source design, and more or less we are trying to check which of the different design will be after that able to be produced because of component, more or less. This is our, I will say, strategy, just to assist. So we don't, and of course to check that's the design. After that, how can I say? One problem is could be this fast homologation. We have to check that really the parameters, the dangerous parameters like the PEEP or different parameters of the ventilator are really fulfilled. This is more or less our role here, but I think there are in the world additional open source design like this from the Massachusetts Institute. One also in I think in Poland we have received all the documentation. And okay, summary. If we once the project is homologated, we can help. We put our factories, as Pepe said before, and all our procuring, sourcing abilities to help and to assist. This is more or less our role. We are here 5 people from Bosch and Siemens, so just to help and to assist.
And you are a very, very important agent on that. I will take this one moment just to tell you about one information that Ulla Engelmann has just provided us in the meeting before. We are having a meeting every morning of the cluster side, I would say. And this morning, Ulla Engelmann is the head of unit of clusters in the DG Grow in Brussels, okay? And she has just told us that they are planning to liberate something like 500 million euros for collaborative projects through clusters, as I understood she well, okay? Very soon. Very soon means days, okay? So we can prepare this kind of projects in collaboration to look for funding from the European Commission. Just for your information, we don't have more details, okay? And we will share them as soon as we have it then, okay?
Okay.
But it's clear that one of the priorities for them is this kind of projects.
Okay, Antonio, maybe can I just briefly say the state of the Asturias one? I'm really sorry. I'm in real time trying to get them, but they are really hands-on on the trials. So I will have to fill in here. Okay, so basically right now they already did the experiments on healthy animals, and this is already done. So basically, with external expertise there to basically test it externally. And now, although Xavier said that we can skip directly to humans, we are first doing a pathological peak in this case, okay? And this is the state in which basically this is the trial that is running today. So this is a machine, as David said already, is made mostly of off-the-shelf components and is based on Arduino boards and so on. It's trying still to. I don't have any slides to share. Sorry. So basically, is right now the critical part, as far as I know, is basically the flux sensors. So basically, I think that also another word for it is called a limiter. So basically, as David said, there is a problem of shortage with the Siemens PLC. Plus, there is also a problem of patent-like, because we would like to make the respirator open hardware all the time, so that we can openly share it with everyone around the world. And this already poses problems in that regard. But there are other parts that already we are aware of. That, for example, Pedro and Aurora told us, and we are already implementing them. And so basically, it's very advanced. The trials after this trial, if everything goes right with the pathological peak, the next thing they are trying to do is to do the human. So basically, the Ramses is the doctor that is doing the trials with all the engineers, and he got permission from the government because he's a doctor. He's working in a hospital, and they are right now very demanded. But he got the permission from the government to stay right now in Asturias to do the experiments. He's from Canarias, so basically a lot of distance between. And he's trying to get more permission, basically an extension to stay there until Tuesday to finish the human trials also. After that, in principle, we think that we are already validated as it is, for example, the Malaga team already. And I'm happy to say this because this is in a very advanced stage. I think that's it.
Congratulations. What will help you to do? Go ahead.
Yeah. Just one question. We are always speaking about the control of the volume and to measure the volume, and we want to measure the volume because we want to get a feedback and to know how to regulate the volume. Do you see any chance to do this volume regulation of this?
The sound is very bad, Emilio. Very bad sound. Could you?
But Emilio, I got it. I think I can answer already. The Asturias team is already working with volume control. With there are 3 modes. I don't remember right now the third one. Sorry, the middle one. There is one that is volume. There is one that is another parameter control, and then there is the trigger one. No, correctly.
Volume, pressure.
Yes.
Exactly.
The trigger
Thank
one.
you. Thank you. So the Asturias team is working with the 3 modes, so you can enable each of them in the device. Of course, this is sensing, as I told you, it's sensing the flags that is going out of the patient and also adapting to it. There is still ongoing parts on that, precisely in the firmware. This is what Aurora was saying, that they are strong on that and they are helping us a lot on this, and we are very thankful. And yeah, so basically, if the question is, are we? So in the end, sorry for being so straightforward right now, but basically, we are aware of many of there are right now like 20 initiatives in Spain, and it seems like a part of them are not putting any control on these flags of air exhaled by the patient. So just to let you know that this for being considered at all needs to have this kind of control. So this makes the project much more complicated, but it's needed. We need to emulate an expensive machine. We don't need to inflate a mattress. Yeah, sorry for being so straightforward.
Miguel, can I say something to you? You can use my modification of the circuit to control the expiratory limb. You don't need an expensive part. If you use the Rubens valve and the CPAP valve, you can adapt a filter to the expiratory limb, and you don't need to go back to the ventilator. You read the document that I've sent, and you'll notice that it can be achieved easily.
Okay, thank you. I will definitely pass your email to the core team, and they will contact you as soon as possible, because if this is a possibility, this is something really interesting.
Okay, thank you.
And Miguel Angel, we are already in contact, but you know, we also offer you some assistance for the production and for the sourcing once it's homologated.
Yeah, but sorry, you are talking from BSH, I guess, no?
From BSH, exactly, from BSH.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
BSH. We are already in contact with some colleagues, but just to offer. Because, Antonio, 2 questions I have here. One is, of course, there are, not only in Spain, but at least in Spain, we are following 5, 6 initiatives. This is great, but after that, the final goal is to have, how can I say, could be even that this initiative may conflict each other, because end of the day, some of them are using the same components. Could be Arduino, could be, for example, this valve, this pressure valve to protect the 40 milligram of pressure and these kind of things. So probably the problem is not design. The problem is after that to produce them, and somehow will be interesting to say, okay, for us, we are here, independent of the design, let's look for 1 or 2 solutions that are easy to get units. This is just a point, because could be a conflict after that of component. This is our fear about it.
And it doesn't make sense. I totally agree.
Exactly. And the second point, I don't know if there is what are the conditions for homologation. For example, in the web page of the, so I'm trying to follow outside Europe, and in America they have already some conditions of coronavirus for approval of emergency respirators. Do we have something similar here? Because this could be, because everybody is talking about validation, homologation. Do we have some kind of paper as this from USA? Do you know? From the
we could ask from USA. You are
in the USA there are, yes, the certificate
as USA, or your idea is to export to USA?
No. the FDA in USA, the regulation organization was very fast and put a paper in his web to say for everybody trying to do initiative on mechanical ventilators, these are the minimum conditions for COVID-19 respirators, and there are, I think, it's quite interesting and easy to follow. This could help a lot the different groups that are trying to go to the authorization for homologation, some kind of, I will say, specifications. This
As far as I know, the only thing we have is we got the one from the United Kingdom where they were made this public consult on building respirators, but so far they have chosen like 2 or 3 designs to manufacture according to the specs they share. The only thing I've seen that could be related to this, there was an open call that was channeled through the Mobility Goes Additive cluster on additive manufacturing, and they linked their PDF from the European Commission asking for manufacturing capabilities, and they share the norm that they should comply to, but they label that as non-mandatory or non-obligatory for this case. I think that's the only official call that has been made so far.
Antonio, I just sent an email before this was on the on the table, a suggestion that with your connections with the community, the commission, you suggest a temporary rule for only this COVID crisis, so that each equipment that is approved in one of the 27 could be used in all the 27, so that the fastest project to be approved could be used cross borders. And connecting this with this information from FDA, maybe you could also suggest a simple only form, which could be a copy of FDA. They don't mind, of course.
Okay. Could you send me a draft of this plea, if you don't mind? Because for you it's far clearer than me, and I could forward that for sure to the commission. But it will be good if I have a draft. Could you do that, Aurora?
So,
I'm trying.
Thank you very much.
Maybe just, sorry, Antonio, maybe as everything is more or less settled, I would like to ask also for VSH for this concern about colliding projects. As far as I see, for example, the Malaga one that is already approved and is relying on compressors. And of course, the panels for controlling everything, there I agree, and also for the sensors, for the flux and everything. But I see that there is basically a possibility to compartmentalize. So basically, in one, for example, in a hospital, could be much easier to use the Malaga one when you have a supply of compressed air inside the facilities. While, for example, in all these improvised hospitals, in front of the hospitals, I'm talking right now about Malaga, the one I know, the one modular one that doesn't need a compressor for each patient might be also useful. So I think that we should not put all the coins in just one. I'm not. I can assure you that I'm not gonna earn a single euro on this. I'm not talking about anything. I'm just trying to think that this might be a good option to have several ways. So basically, that we don't put all the coins in just one project.
But okay, yeah, Miguel Angel, here Jose also from VSH. I think there are two kinds. End of the day, there are two kinds. One is the pneumatic, I will say, and the other is more the ambu or the wrist type that are similar, I will say, always with a balloon and you press the balloon with different solutions. And I when I said in the one or two designs, I was also thinking I think these two are far different each other, and also the components. and also I will say the solutions, but probably with two designs, one based on pneumatic and the other based on the AMBU or the RIS, will be enough.
For example, I can also jump in here and say, and Xavier, if you are still around, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But already the LATAT one, already even in the news, is public. It's basically said that it's gonna be helpful for 4 days as much of use. And this, for example, is not the goal of the respirator, the resistance respirator that we are trying to do. We are trying to go for the full treatment of the patient, while already this one, which is the most developed one so far, at least in the news, is already being told that it's going to be useful only for 4 days per patient or something like that. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm just repeating what is already in the news. Nothing else. Xavier, yeah, please.
Sorry. In my opinion, because of the difficulties any project will face on supply chain, we should not confine to one or two. We should make available whatever is working well and gains the confidence of the professionals. And so all the projects can be used in different places, for instance, ambulances, etc. So I would not concentrate on only one or two.
Okay, so I don't know what time is it. Yeah, we have spent 90 minutes. I don't know if it's time to close for now, or anybody wants to make a statement before closing.
Antonio, no? Just we wrote, please provide to all of us contacts and so to be sure that we can do specific.
Yeah, please send to me if I don't send to me your email telling me if I have the possibility to share it with the rest of the team. It's very important, for GDPR. Send me your contact, a brief summary of your project, please, and any other information that you want to share with the rest. I will send to you the list very quickly, as soon as I can today. Okay, and I have another last question: is do you want to meet again, and when?
Yes.
Okay, because there are 9 answers for now in the Slido. Okay, so it's yes. When? Because when I understand that David has its own session on Tuesday. Is Tuesday, David? Thursday or Tuesday? Sorry.
It's on Thursday. It's on Thursday.
Thursday, sorry. Thursday.
If I tell you about the choice of the day, it's because on Monday we knew that Cotec was going to launch its own, and on Sunday you guys were making this one, and we wanted to give people some time also. And then we thought that Wednesday was a bit of a stupid day because it's April 1st. So we decided to take Thursday. No, to be honest, it's also because we want to see people from all over the world, and we also want it to be an opportunity for countries that are starting to think about this situation, like Latin America in general, for example, to have an opportunity to tune in and be connected as well. So that's why we chose Thursday.
Okay.
Afternoon. So it will be from 4 o'clock. That's what I know, but I will send you all of the details.
So we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, or whenever you want. But please tell us. We should reach for an agreement on that.
Antonio, you should decide.
Yeah. I should decide.
I agree with that.
How urgent is for you? How urgent? Would you agree on Tuesday, or would you prefer Wednesday, Friday? I don't know the level of urgency that you have for this kind of exchanges. I really don't know.
I can say, for example, that on Tuesday probably is ongoing the human. So again, much probably Ramses and Marcos wouldn't be able to be here on Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
My proposal, Wednesday.
okay for me.
Okay. Wednesday, is it 10 o'clock or do you prefer in the afternoon?
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is fine. Yeah.
10 o'clock is fine. 10 o'clock is fine on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Perfect. Next
I can do it
Wednesday,
on
10
Wednesday, but
o'clock. Sorry?
so I can't do it on Wednesday, but it doesn't matter. I will talk to you with by email. I will be in the hospital on Wednesday. It
Okay.
won't be a problem. Thank
Okay,
you
please
for
send us
considering.
all the information. I will have, if I will share with everybody your contact so they can put themselves in contact with you directly. But it's impossible to agree on a date when.
No, of course not. Yeah, but thank you for considering.
No, thank you for your contribution, but they were very great. So congratulations. Wednesday, 10 o'clock, we will meet again, but you are invited to collaborate as much as possible, as much as you are able during those days, okay? And I will share with you not only the information that we sent to you sent to me now, but every news that I think that could help you to have okay, whatever. Okay.
Thank you.
As soon as
Thank you.
possible,
Okay.
I will translate to you the information. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Done.
everybody.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Good
Have a
luck.
great day.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.